hi. How you guys doing? What's going on? It's just me. No Jeff. Jeff just got a flat tire like 30 minutes ago. He was gonna try and pop in. I don't know. He got a flat tire. Those of you people that got to experience this hurricane slash tropical storm Debbie, I hope y'all are good. Hope everybody's doing all right. Um, Let me just tell you that I'm still tired from yesterday. So I apologize. We're going to do it. We're going to try and tough through this thing. We're going to be me because it's just me. Ha! We'll see. Be right back.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charlie from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena, I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Oh, hey, guess what? Yes, check it. Watch. Look, he made it. Even with a flat tire. Look at him. He is on fire. He is ready to talk and do some work. Jeff, how the hell are you, buddy?
I hate you.
I love you, man. Do you like my little sneak up from the bottom?
Man.
Are you like, what the hell is he doing?
7 miles from my fuel stop. Freaking pop.
Oh, dude, that thing is shredded too. Just wow.
Grabbed the mud flat, brought it in.
Of course it did.
So, Charlie, this is one of those tires that I sent you the picture of.
Really?
Yep. The one that we think that they probably just moved from the other side because the other side looks like that one, but that side doesn't.
Right.
So yeah. I'm going to have a talk.
Oh, so that was on the truck.
Yeah.
I have to have a talk.
I think I'm gonna have to have a talk with the guys over at OTR about their tire situation.
Right.
And maybe even a discussion with ES.
For real.
And folks, you're an owner operator out there. I don't own the truck right now, but I'm still a contractor, running like it's mine for now until I buy it. You got these services and we love ES. I don't want people to think, oh, ES, you guys, I thought you guys liked ES. We do like ES. But they said something when I called them. Nope.
That was just
funny. They said something, Charlie, and I'm going to have a discussion. They said, well, we'll probably just get the cheapest tire and get you rolling.
Right.
And I'm sitting here, I need to roll, right? I'm supposed to be delivering tonight. I got to
Yeah.
roll. So, whatever. If it was my truck, though, I would be having words right then and there because, as you know, cheap tires are not cheap tires.
Right. Cost you
They're
fuel
talking
mileage,
about
tire life.
putting, right. They're talking about, Yokohama is probably the cheapest tire. Well, yeah, there's a reason for that. We've seen it.
Right.
The rolling resistance isn't that bad. Remember, we did that evaluation on them. But I talked to guys that they don't have the wear life that a Bridgestone or a Michelin or even a Goodyear has.
Right.
So I'm just saying, I'm hot, I'm miserable. Let me rant, okay, people.
They might be on par with Goodyear. I'll say that.
Yeah.
From some of the discussions I've heard about the Yokohama and wear life and all that
maybe.
sort of thing. I think they're about there, but that was one of our big gripes with the Goodyears was the wear life. So,
well, I had problems up in the Northwest with traction on Goodyears. I had one set of Goodyears on my 07, and I switched them out after the first winter on them, and I like nope. Went to the Michelins and never had a problem.
There. Right. Man, that sucks. All right, let me do this thing. Chris Hamilton was first.
And I'm at a rest area, so this is a $3 bottle of pop, by the way.
Of course it is. So Chris popped in with that right when I posted it. And everybody was bummed out because I didn't post it till after 5, dude.
Hey, you know what though? Chris was our first guy to sign up for the $37, and so I don't know. He may or may not be getting a heads up. I'm just saying. He's not.
Shut up. He's not.
He's not. But hey,
I intentionally don't.
Whatever gets you guys to at least look at it. Come on.
Hey, wait. But this is my response to him. Right afterwards.
Oh, he was fourth.
He was first. But I was just giving him a hard time. Craig came in second. Big shocker there. I love the competition. I think it's fun to watch. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Here's the thing they call it gamification, right? It's like an actual term. And a buddy of mine and I were talking about this, and we remember the first, what do they call them on Audible? The first little like virtual attaboy that they give you,
right?
And you know what mine was for? And I had no idea these things existed, right? And I get this pop-up, hey, you just got this award. And I'm like, what award?
Right.
So this is years ago when I primarily drove at night. So guess what my first Audible award was? The Night Owl Award.
Night. Yeah.
So many hours at night. And I remember thinking at the time, I'm like, who does this appeal to? I've got like all of them at this point.
Right.
It is weird, isn't it?
Yep. Sean's here. Oh, Sean wants us to talk about some basic bookkeeping.
Yes. He's been texting, dealing with this tire, Sean.
Right.
I sent him a picture of my tire, and he felt bad after that.
And then he's like, yeah, but let's talk about my stuff first, right?
Yeah.
Michael Fowler's here. Jim Wall.
So one thing I'll mention about the gamification, though, Charlie.
Yep.
The gamification in our community is not just for little virtual trophies.
Right.
There'll be 2 types of contests we do, one for recruiting and one for engagement. And you get stuff if you're number 1. You get stuff.
The first one is a Ram McNally headset. Like this or like Jeff's.
Your choice. You tell us which one you want and we'll get it for you.
We'll make it happen, Captain.
So this was kind of different because it's the first one. And I kind of made an executive decision without talking to Charlie and Josh about this. So it will be a combination of engagement points and recruiting points on the first one. So if you guys recruit someone to the network and they become a paid subscriber, you get 5 points. If you comment on stuff, you get 1 point. And if you post stuff, you get 2 points. So there's multiple ways to rack up points on this thing. The biggest bang for your buck is going to be recruiting, of course, because, hey, we want a lot of people in here so we can get the mastermind going. Donna doesn't know about my tire because her phone has been on the blink today. I had a drive tire blow up on me. First time in years, Charlie. That's why I'm kind of like,
Hey, TK. Hey, man. Sorry I didn't answer you yesterday. I was dealing with hurricane stuff, bro. Just saying. I was not having a good day. I know. Whatever. I don't,
Hurricanes.
Jim called me a weirdo. Just saying. He
You
liked
are
my
a
little
weirdo.
pop up. It's true. Matt's sending you a big hug.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going through the chat because I'm catching up. Hi. No.
Okay. That would be against federal regulations. I don't want to get too deep into it, but did you see that the feds are going to decriminalize it nationwide? But
Really?
the rules still apply to heavy
Of course it
machinery and
does.
trucks.
That makes sense.
So don't be thinking you can go out there and get your medical and be okay to drive. You can't.
Look at that. Craig said, I'm getting 8 new tires. Charlie, you can play with my virgin rubbers. But what? Of course, the virgin rubber tires. So we were having a discussion about this. There's a weird thing going on at Swift right now that I'm okay talking about. They're currently leasing trucks with recap tires on them.
Even though
The contract states it should be new or used original tires. Whatever.
original to us means virgin tires, not recaps.
Right. Has to be Michelin, Bridgestone, Continental, or Goodyear tires is what they said. That's the contract. I'm just saying. It's kind of a weird thing. And they're opening themselves up to nasty stuff in my book. I've tried to make my voice known. I don't know, man. They seem to be okay with it. So whatever. But apparently, if you're turning in a truck tomorrow, you can turn your truck in with recaps on it. Because that's what they're telling people. Because if they can issue you the truck, Schedule B in your Swift contract for you Swift guys states what, your truck minimum requirements are for maintaining it and such and turning it in and all that. It's also minimum requirements for them to lease it to you.
Right.
So if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, right? Isn't that what they say?
That's what some people say. Yeah.
What I was told is that they believe that the recap tires that they are now purchasing have come so far that they are a trustworthy and adequate tire.
Well, all the tire manufacturers sell them that way. It's summertime though, and I can tell you I see an awful lot of gators on the road.
Right. So I don't even know. I just thought that was an interesting thing. I am of the belief that the contract states one thing. If I were to go in there and lease a truck today and they pointed me to a truck with recaps, I would not sign the contract until they met what the contract states and in schedule. And it specifically says don't sign the contract, right? Mm-hmm. Until the truck meets the standards in Schedule B, right? Mm-hmm. In fact,
and Charlie, that last one I picked up, that 22 in Lancaster, I did actually check tread depth on all those tires before I signed that contract.
Right?
Because tires are expensive, man. I think he'd give me some tire with 2 months left on it.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here's that one.
Oh.
I mean, it specifically states right there, tires. And the point that's important here is tires may be Michelin, Bridgestone, Goodyear, or Continental, new or used original, but with at least 13 30 seconds drive tires, 10 30 seconds steer tires, of an inch of tread remaining. Tire casing should be free of bulges, cuts, and gouges. I should not be showing all that.
What's the virgin depth on steers? Do you know? I don't even know.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say they're something. I should, hang on, let me redo this real quick. I'm going to make people dizzy scrolling. Bear with me, man. I'm trying to find the other part of the contract. Use of equipment, maintenance and repairs, modifications, title, location, identification, ain't that. Loss, damage, destruction, that ain't it. I can't find it now. Where the hell is it?
What are you looking for?
The portion where they actually tell you don't sign Schedule A, which is the lease, until you've read Schedule B and agree that it meets that point. Anyhow, it's in there. I don't know where it is off the top of my head, so I apologize for that. I may have actually gone too far, and there's Schedule A.
That's interesting. This is interesting. Goodyear Fleet Headquarters has received your service request. Your service ticket number is.
Nice.
Okay. I don't know. That doesn't tell me when they're going to be here.
Goodyear's usually pretty good because that's who Target uses on their trailers. Yeah. Are you where are you parked at?
I'm in a rest area.
Okay, then you're good. Because like Loves and those guys won't let Goodyear on their lots.
Really?
Yeah. They yeah.
But they sell Goodyears.
Yeah, but they want to do the work. I literally had to pull out of a spot.
So here's something interesting.
Into the street one time.
I'm sure I'll get a phone call from Jeff in the next couple of days if this is wrong. But I was trying to figure out what to do because I haven't had a breakdown, really, right? On the truck, other than the APU, and that was weird. So this ES, those of you guys that are on the fleet card now, which you should be on the old card. You should have the new card by now. And my phone is taking forever to load up. Anyway, so there's a selection for on-road there. You know what it does? It has an external link to Travel Centers of America Road Services.
Interesting.
So apparently ES has a contract with them. Now, the instructions I got from the fleet owner was call ES directly and talk to their maintenance people and have them set things up. But right. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. I don't know so I'm on a different card though, Charlie. I'm on a fleet owner's card, which I think is a different deal than what we've got for our 1 and 2 truck owners. And so I think the service package is a little different. We should talk to Jeff and see what the differences are and what we can say and what we can't, huh?
I found the spot.
Okay.
In delivery and acceptance of the leased equipment, right down here, upon delivery of any equipment to lessee shall forthwith inspect such item, and unless lessee gives lessor prompt written notice of any defect in or other proper objection to such item, including that the equipment does not meet the minimum guidelines and condition of equipment as set forth in Schedule B here too, lessee shall execute and deliver to the lessor Schedule A. I'm gonna skip down here, blah blah blah, such and by signing Schedule A, you are basically saying that it meets the requirements of Schedule B. So when you sign this contract, right? And when you sign Schedule A, and you're essentially saying that the truck you're taking possession of meets Schedule B's requirements, which says new or used original tires. And right. That's how you have to take it back by contract. Now, what they're saying is verbally saying this, nothing in writing.
Not even a handshake because you can't see them.
Right. Nothing in writing that says, we're using these recaps that we like, so it's fine. But does that mean I can go get any kind of recaps I want as long as the casings match up and the treads match? Because I can find some really cheap recaps out there. See, this is the kind of thing. This is why I believe these contracts are so important. and why understanding the contracts are important, and why every single word in the contract is important. It's why I get hung up on specific words in a lot of different things that I do. I say all the time, words are important because they are. You know, if they are vague words, they're usually vague for a reason, subject to interpretation, usually not at the lesser side's advantage on the interpretation, usually, right?
Mhm.
This is just opening people up to bad things, man. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have done this on the show, but I'm doing it anyhow. I don't care.
Well, it's a
What are you
good
gonna
lesson
do?
for everybody, Charlie. I don't care who you're contracted with. Know your contract, man. Know your contract. Yeah, I think we already told the story, Charlie. I was in this truck for what, 2 days, and I'm checking my permit book. I'm like, oh, look, here's
Right.
OTR Solutions, ICOA. Let's read through that real quick.
Right.
And Charlie, I was reading it to Charlie like a bedtime story.
It was. And I was like all content too, listening. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I like seeing contracts. I'm weird. Whatever. What do you want from me?
So what was interesting though is we noticed that there's a lot of commonalities in the ICOA at Panther to the one at Swift, and we've only seen a few of these things for a few carriers. It is kind of boilerplate,
Right.
and they are all absolutely in the favor of the carrier. Make no mistake. So here's the thing: you're reading through the contract, and every once in a while you're going to pause if you're actually reading the contract, right? You're going to go, I don't know about that. So
Right.
then you
You're
got
like,
to ask yourself, can you live with that or not?
right.
And if you can't, just walk away, man. If you see
Or
something in there that
try to
really bothers
negotiate.
you and they won't budge,
Right.
walk away. I told you guys that on my 16, I got them to change the contract for the service interval
Right.
to match what the owner's manual of Freightliner said. So,
And I'm sure at the time they're like, it's okay, man. We know that it's just gonna, you're gonna follow the manufacturer's schedule. We get that. But that's not what the contract says.
right.
And that's important. I mean, we're agreeing to these contracts, and I don't care what company you're going to,
Well,
whether
and so that was the last batch of trucks, by the way, where they were offering to finance a balloon payment at the end.
right,
And it was a very similar thing to the MRP.
right,
If you didn't meet the contract, they wouldn't finance it. So I was like, I was done leasing trucks at this point. I was just done, right? This was going to be my last truck. I was going to buy it out. And so I made him change it, man, because I didn't want that to be the thing that stopped me from financing my balloon. And we had a little bit. I absolutely did finance that balloon, folks. That's not an option at Swift anymore. They won't do
Hey.
that.
yeah,
So if you want to get into ownership, and reap the benefits for as long as you can of having a paid for truck, you got to plan for that.
yeah,
Check out that podcast from last week with Colton on the business credit. Because honestly, I mean, let's be real. When you're leasing a truck, and you've got that payment, it is tough to come up with, what is it now, a $65,000 buyout at the end.
right.
It's a stretch. It can be done. We see people do it every day,
80 some odd with mine.
but it is hard. That's a hard goal to meet. So start building those relationships with those banks early. If
You go right there, check out that episode. Just saying.
if you're starting your lease today and your goal is to buy that truck out, I would be talking to your credit union about, hey, got about 4 years here. What do you
Right.
do?
What would I be doing? Hey, Gabe, good to see you, buddy. Been a minute. Glad to see you're still out there
And,
kicking this stuff.
That's one of those things. I don't care if usually credit union, bank, whatever. But when you're talking about getting loans and stuff, credit unions, they will actually sit down with you a little more than a big bank will
Right.
and actually walk you through. Okay, so you got 4 years. You better be doing this, this, and this. And we can
Right.
talk. If you don't do this, this, and this, it's no deal. They'll tell you straight up. You go to like a Wells Fargo, they're like, oh, well, yeah, well, we'll see how you do. And,
Right. Yeah. I like that. That was good. That was good, man. I felt like I was in a bank right there, bro. I was like, damn, that's a loan officer.
Loan officer's doing this thing. I'm gonna either crush his dreams or I'm taking him to the bed to the
Right?
showers, man.
Good Lord. Hey, Donna said that it was a teen that tapped the airplane mode. It must have been.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue with her about it.
They do weird things, those two.
All right. I got my GoPro.
Yay! Did you
I
charge
can't
it
use
up?
it's everything's charged.
You just don't have an SD card for it.
No, Rosie's actually at the store right now getting me an SD card.
Nice.
I'm gonna order a big one just so I have another one just in case.
Yeah. Oh. So I got a new thing coming out on YouTube next week. I think I'm gonna start
Yeah.
it this week. So I've been for the last week or two. Every time I'm in a dock, because all of my stuff is live loads and unloads. So you're gonna start seeing in the dock with Jeff.
Look, some of these are hilarious. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah. Okay.
He-
I'm
he-
trying
he's-
to be serious. I don't know.
No, but I mean, it's just the things that pop into your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It's just basically like this is what I was thinking on the way over here, man. What do
right.
you guys think?
Yeah.
So yeah. Just
I
a little
just-
something new for you.
I just think it's hilarious in the sense of it's one of those moments where you're like, oh, and now we're just sharing these random thoughts. Some of you guys are gonna be like, why? Others, hopefully, most of you be like, oh, you know what? I thought about that, and now you can have a discussion about it because you know what? It's not just you thinking it. Just saying.
Yeah.
I've been doing a rolling thing on Thursdays in the private group. They're kind of thoughts that I come up with when I'm hanging out and doing weird things, and they pop into my head, and I thought I'd share some because it that group really is all about becoming a mastermind in and of itself. And the more we talk about the things that we think about, then we can start getting finding ways to do these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of people are really going to benefit the most from the Road Warrior Entrepreneur Group.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I know that some of these are going to come off and come out, and there's going to be people trying to say, "Dude, Jeff, you're an idiot. That's not how things work." And you know what? That's a good thing because they're just the thoughts that I have. And
Right.
if you're wrong about something, that's the great thing about being part of a community is you've got a group of people that'll tell you when you're wrong.
Right.
The only thing I ask is when that happens, you better be able to back it up.
Yeah. Let's have a real discussion. You know what I mean? Craig's like in the dark with Jeff. I think that's a whole different group right there. That's like Jeff's OnlyFans page. What? I'm just saying, no, I didn't say that out loud.
Dude, that hasn't come up in so long. You did
I
so
know.
well.
Right? I know. And it was just triggered. I couldn't help it. He said that's what he thought you said. I'm just saying, whatever. I was on the roof today, cleaning the roof off after the hurricane and crap. And remember all those pine cones from last week?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's so many of them up there.
Well, so there's a silver lining to this storm down there.
Yeah.
I think that the squirrel that was executed by the power surge in your backyard was the perpetrator.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, there was clearly a squirrel that got electrocuted. Sad day for him, squirrel family, whatever. Shout out. Squirrel got fried. Just saying. He laying at the bottom of the telephone pole, light bulb.
You were telling me that Richie was telling you that.
Yeah, he was
like the whole Hollywood, like.
Yeah, there was
on?
arcs jumping out of the transformer to the lines and around, and then everything went. Boom. We had like 3 transformers on the block go out, all in sync. Boom, 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 boom. It was awesome. And he was looking out the window because he kept hearing like weird noise, and it turns out what he was hearing was the arcing out there on the pole. So we got to watch it all happen. Oh, Trucker Dan.
That's a solid maybe.
Right? The contract states that if it's at their discretion whether or not you can do that. They haven't done it for many people in quite some time. I'm sure that there's one or two here or there that they've done it for that nobody's heard about. I don't particularly agree with it, but whatever. It's their deal, man. It's the contract we signed, so sometimes you just got to deal with stuff. You could definitely approach them and see what they say, though. That's what I would do. I would reach out and say, "Hey, I'd like to pay it off. Here's my plan for it." Don't just randomly call them and ask them because they're just going to ignore you. Like if you're not ready to actually do it. Yeah. There you go. Squirrel zap. Zoop. That's a hilarious one right there. I love the little character. What do you call those emoji things? I
We
can't even
used to
talk.
call them emoticons back in the day.
Right?
I like that word better. I'm not going to lie. I think that we need to stop appropriating other people's cultures. I'm just,
Oh God, it's gonna be one of these shows. I can see where we're going. Dennis is up there, and where he's at, it's storming. The truck is rocking. He says he loves this weather. I have jokes that I will get in trouble if I start talking.
Nope.
See, look,
Nope.
I'm
I am also a 12-year-old boy, but you notice that I am not. Nope. Mm-mm.
and
Charlie,
that's what
save
she
me.
said. Oh, that was perfect. I think. You like that, Jeff? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you know what though? We didn't really have anything coming in here today. So if you guys got stuff to talk about, you got some questions. I know Sean wants to talk about some basic bookkeeping stuff. What is it you're after? Victor. ¿Cómo
So
estás?
what he was asking me about was evaluating loads for profitability.
Ah,
And we've got Big Matt working on a spreadsheet for that.
Mr. Matt Nissen. Jeff is typing something. He'll be right back. He said, I'm gonna be right back. I think maybe somebody called him or something. I don't know. Oh, I bet it's the tired people. Michael's on the turnpike near Carlisle. Oh, yeah. Dennis. Yeah. You know I can't help it. Don't knock. That's right. So yeah. I'm gonna get in trouble. Donna, see how look, I'm trying. Donna, I'm trying. I'm too tired to fight some of these oh, stop it, Lisa. Matt said the percentage spreadsheet is done. So we'll get to you guys some more stuff, I swear. Maybe. I don't know. I can't think of anything right now. So oh my God, chat so fast. Excuse me. So the night before, when would that be? What's today? Today's Tuesday. So last night was Monday night. Sunday night, I did not sleep well because I knew Rosie was headed over towards the Debbie path. Our goal was to try and get over into Lake City before Debbie got up to I-10. And so we were hauling tail, man. We were booking. And I knew that my brain was like, we can't go to sleep because what if she says it's time to wake up because, bad things are happening. And so I didn't sleep. And then I ended up starting my day super early Monday morning and driving. And I'm driving fast, trying to get there. I made it within 80 miles of the DC and decided it was time to stop when I looked over and we saw a tree that had just fallen on a great big old car hauler and all his brand new cars. And a car and a big truck were stuck behind him. And then right behind that big truck was another large tree blocking all of I-10 on the westbound side. So we decided, you know what, we're stopping. We pulled in a rest area and it was jam packed. And I was parked on the car side and it was very sketchy and just I was sticking out and I tried taking a nap, but I couldn't because of the way I was parked. And I just, oh man, it was weird. And then we were there for, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, something like that. Got going down the road again. And Debbie was still kind of moving up to I-10, but it was far enough up that, we couldn't really still get past it. But we were, we're like, all right, let's go check it out, and it wasn't bad when we left. We got 35 miles down the road to there's a Love's there on I-10 at exit 262 in Lee, Florida. The interstate was closed at the Love's, and guess what was completely jam packed and full? The Love's and the little truck stop across the street. So I didn't make a right to the truck stop. I knew of a route around all this nonsense, so I hung a left. Took US 90 or Highway 90 up there through the town of Lee, got back to I-10 where it was open again, and then decided to keep going. And then it started getting sketchy because, I'm pulling an empty reefer trailer. And I'm like, all right. So we stopped at the next rest area, and we were there for another couple hours. I mean, we were supposed to be at the DC. We should have been there by about 9:30 or 10 in the morning. The DCU actually got closed the night before. It wasn't going to open until 9. So I'm like, okay, cool, right? No big rush to that. I just wanted to get past the storm. We didn't actually get to the DC till right at just after 5, like 5:03 or some nonsense like that in the evening. And when we got there, there was a line of trucks down the center median out on the main street on 441 that was, I don't know, 10, 15 trucks long. There's a line going back the opposite way on 441 from the opposite side that was 4 or 5 trucks long. And the entire street from 441 to the Target gate was slammed full of trucks waiting to get in. They had just opened the gates at 5 p.m. So that took
And you saved a kitten.
I did save a kitten, but I did not bring it home because I'm not stupid. But I could not watch the cat get run over by a car. And so I ran out, and it was like this big. It was like this big. It was tiny, right? And it was black, and it was meowing, and I could hear it from inside the truck across the street on the southbound lanes, and it was freaking me out. I was like, what the hell is that? And then I saw it out there, and it was kind of crawling. It was low crawling, man. It was like afraid of everything. It was raining, and there's, the end of the storm and all that kind of nonsense. And there was cars coming, so I jumped out, and I stopped traffic carefully. Turns out the first car I stopped was like a battalion fire chief guy. He didn't get out of the car, but he saw what I was doing. And when I was done, but he didn't get out of the car to help me. But I tried to put the cat in a safe spot.
We determined that that's because the cat was not in a tree, though.
Right. If it was in a tree, I think he would have been the guy to go to there. I think he would have did it. But he was like, it's on the ground. You can handle this. And so I did. And I couldn't touch the cat. The cat was definitely a feral kitten, man. He was not playing. He wasn't big enough to even barely bite my pinky, but I'm telling you, he'd have took off my head if I gave him a chance. He was not amused. He, she, it, they, them, whatever. That cat was not happy. But then we didn't get home till right after 9. And sleep has not been my friend because of it all. And today was just a train wreck in my brain. That's why I didn't get Topos till late.
The exact thing that Charlie said. We were on the phone this morning talking about some stuff. And he's like, if I don't get up on this roof now, it ain't getting done today. I got to
Right. Yeah. Because I had to get all that crap off. Like, there are some massive branches up there. So I had to go check for holes and stuff, man. Because look, I don't look. It's not a great roof to start with.
And you didn't fall off.
I did not fall off. Allegedly. Look, I'm standing. We're good. Look, I'm okay.
What a trip would that be? You fall off a roof and it fixes your back.
That'd be awesome. Breaks it the right way and straightens it back out again. It makes it like flexible and stuff. That'd be great, man. I'm almost willing to try it. I'm just saying. Maybe I'll go get another motorcycle tomorrow.
We had a friend in Oregon that he was a general contractor. He had one of those projects down there in the Reno area, like 100 houses or something like that. And he's one of those dudes that'll get up there and swing a hammer because, why not?
Right.
He freaking fell off a roof, broke his back in like 2 places. And this is like a whole family of like adrenaline junkies. His wife's like a triathlete. He flies ultralights. His kids like to climb rocks for some reason, rock climbers. And so here he is. He's at church and he's in his wheelchair, and we're just like, holy crap, what happened to you? And then like 2 years later, his oldest son is rock climbing, falls like 100 feet and breaks his back. Now I'm sitting here thinking, My dad almost lost his life in a motorcycle accident like 5 years before I was born. And this guy has never been on a street bike because I grew up with that story.
Right. Look, I'll tell you right now, knowing what I know about motorcycles, right, and my experience, if Rosie told me I could go buy a new crotch rocket tomorrow and I had the money to pay cash for it, I would probably go buy a crotch rocket tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know it's not smart, and it makes no sense. It really, there is no logic involved in that. And I know that I would more than likely hurt myself on that motorcycle. That's how bad it is. I've got this weird speed thing in my head. I love to go fast, but that's also why I took up, right? That's why I took up skydiving on the civilian side. The Army side is not all about speed. It's about, oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh, look, I'm on the ground. This is awesome. I didn't die. Right? Civilian skydiving, whole different world. I love to go fast. And I do. And I enjoy the ground rush. Oh my God. I'm just saying. This is probably why I can't be on a motorcycle.
You realize that most of our friends, Charlie, ride motorcycles.
I know. It's weird, right? Oh, tire people. Jeff's got to fix his headset. He got a phone call, but he's waiting on tire people. So yeah. Sean, right? Do it, Charlie. Do it. Victor. No, man. No live reunion this year, brother. My chin hair was stuck to the microphone. That was awesome. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some virtual stuff. But yeah, I mean, dude, if you're somewhere we can hook up, let's hook up, get some tacos, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's just hard to
touching your butt
anywhere. I'll touch yours. And buy you tacos. I'll buy you tacos, Jeff. Good tacos. Really good tacos, bro. Just a little bit, just maybe backhand over the clothes. Something's so wrong. I don't even know what.
I don't even know what to do with that.
Matt says the percentage spreadsheet is done. He's working on another Swift contract one. There's Mike Henderson. There's actually tomorrow is the last day they're sending freight out to Texas from Lake City. However, there's still some trailer issues that we have to sort out. So that's what I'll be doing this next week. Free airborne training. I don't know what you're saying, but yes.
We're talking about people falling off roofs and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Look, feet and knees together, slightly bent. Chin and chest. Hand over your reserves. Control collapse. Just saying. Anyhow, I look.
Army stuff. Did you see that? Did you see that video I tagged you in?
Dude, yes, that was great.
So this is great, guys. Those of you that have been in the military will totally get a kick out of this. This Army recruit.
Do we get in trouble if we play a Facebook video on here?
Probably.
Damn it.
I don't know. So he tells his dad that he's doing okay because he's stayed under the radar. And apparently his dad was also in the Army. So mail call comes and he gets this package. And the drill sergeant's like, here you go. You need to open this now and you need to read the letter.
Right.
And it had already been opened, apparently. In the package was a binky, a blanket, and a stuffed bear. And the letter was like, what was it, Charlie? It was like, dear senior drill sergeant, thank you so much for taking care of my son in what he calls, quote, summer camp, unquote.
Right.
And he left in such a hurry, he forgot his binky, his blanket, and his teddy bear. So I'm sending it to him now.
And he thinks you're an idiot or something like that.
And he thinks you're a wuss.
What's up with pansy. That? What's a pansy? Oh my God. Comes up behind the guy. I'm going to enjoy this. Oh, bro. I told Rosie right then, we need to have another child enter the military right now, today, tomorrow. It needs to happen because I'm going to be that guy. I would absolutely do it. I'd wait about 2 weeks and send out that mail without ever saying anything. So, hey, any of you people that are thinking about joining the military, let me know when it is that you're actually going to be going to basic boot or whatever it is that you're going to. And let me know. We'll be pen pals. It'll be cool. Don't worry about it. I got you back.
That's right.
Letters are important during basic training and boot camp. It's it's what keeps you grounded to the world, and I'm here for you. I'd like to help out and make sure that you stay ready for training. Oh my God.
Army training, sir.
Dude, I bet Yasmin's man John, my son-in-law, is really glad that I had not seen this video before he went into basic training, because I would have done it to him. He'd probably hate me, but I would have done it just because I think it's hilarious. I would, you know what? Wait. You're gonna love this. I think it would be hilarious now if someone had done it to me, because that's a story, bro. That is something you would be telling for your whole life. I'm just saying. And there would be an endless amount of payback that would have to come from that. And that would be fun all by itself. Just saying. Oh, absolutely, Chris. I would. I am admitting it freely right now. I would absolutely do it. I'll do it to you, Chris. Join the military. I will do it to you tomorrow, bro. I'm just saying.
It will absolutely make basic training more memorable for you. TK, come on. We don't do politics on the show, but I'll tell you this. I will answer your question a little bit. Why do you think the president has that kind of authority to begin with? Why do people think the president of the United States is the one that makes all this stuff go up or down?
Right.
I don't get it. I'm not picking sides, though, TK. That's not what we do here.
I know, Chris.
I think.
Can you imagine, Chris.
I think Donna's on a delay here.
Right.
Off limits, okay. Charlie. She told you.
I know. I just expect it. I like tell myself things from Donna and Rosie and people like that. So I try to. Sometimes I can't hear them though. I try. I do try. TK said, "Thank you, Master Jedi." Craig said, absolutely, they have less control than people think. Okay, I'm just saying. Oh God, stop it.
Remember, these people do not care about you. I'm comfortable saying that. They're in it for themselves. And just pay attention to the politics in as much as it affects your business. You know, when bills come down, we'll talk about that, like the crazy talk of the PRO Act making the AB5 rules nationwide.
Right.
We'll absolutely talk about that because it has to do with our business. And even, I don't think you can stop this stuff from happening. People think, if I vote a certain way, it'll stop. So I don't think so at this point. But what we can do is we can look at the bill. Like Charlie and I both looked at that bill and we're like, well, holy smokes. Make comments. So how do we stay in business when this happens?
Right.
Because we want to stay in business. We don't.
That's not to say that we did not voice our opinions.
Right. You got the comment period. You've got this. You got that. You could talk to your elected officials
congressman.
About it.
Right. Because I did, man. I form letters, bro. They're awesome.
I can't remember who it was, but remember, Charlie, when the PRO Act was rearing its ugly head big last time was when the U.S. senator in my district was running for re-election.
Right.
And I was wondering if we could get him on the show to talk about it.
Yeah. We never got a response out of anybody, huh? Because we tried to couple different people. They're like, yeah, you guys got like tens of viewers, bro. I'm going to pass. And maybe one of them is in Utah.
Right.
Well, I get it. Whatever. I still think they should do it because I think it'd be great just to have a real conversation. But, what are you going to do?
Be good PR for them and us. I'm just saying.
But yeah, what Mike Henderson said here, I tell people all the time, your city council is a more important election than the president. For all intents and purposes, I agree. It's more important to you. It's more impactful to you individually in your actual.
Right. You want to impact your life. I would say go as high as the county.
Right.
That's where you really need to focus. National politics, even state politics these days. I mean, look at my former state, Oregon. It's ran by the
Crazy
I-5
people.
corridor.
Yeah.
Portland, Salem, and Eugene carry the vote, so the state just kind of goes that way. You got all these farmers and ranchers in Eastern Oregon. You know, what are
Hey,
they supposed to do? I can tell you what they do. They roll with it and they keep on going.
you know what's hilarious about Oregon and Washington
Hmm.
is they used to be like these, kind of independent type places, right? I mean,
Used to be
very
hippie places, just
right,
hippie places.
But then Californians started leaving California. Not just Californians, Southern Californians.
Right.
This is where I'm San Francisco, Sacramento, and lower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They started moving north to Oregon. Well, actually, they started moving to Northern California, Humboldt, and the great places up there, and then kept going north. They're like, oh, let's go a little further north. Let's go a little further north. I'm leaving that place because I don't like the way the rules are changing and all that nonsense. So I'm going to go up there. And then they went up there and they made the rules the same as they were down in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're pissed off again, so they move a little farther north.
Yep.
And they do it again. We're seeing actually a lot of that in Florida as well. We get a lot of New York Northeast people, right? They're like, it's too crowded. The rules, the laws are BS, whatever, blah, 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 blah. They come down here and they're like, oh, I'm going to build a 19 million house freaking community in 3 acres. Bro, you just left.
Yeah,
that.
but
What are you doing?
to them, that's a lot of room, though.
Yeah,
You got to be fair.
what I
You got to
mean?
look at it from that perspective, man.
Good God, man. But that's, it's crazy. Look. I believe that you can have a voice in real elections, right? In the election process. I believe you should speak to your congressman, your, state senator. I think you should be contacting those people. If there are issues that you feel a certain way about, you should absolutely express your opinion. And maybe you just get a form letter back, but maybe you're that one that they go, that's an interesting point of view.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a congressman reach out to me personally and step in and help me back in 2003, 2004, right after 9/11. I was trying to get back in the military. After being retired and hurt and all this stuff. And I got discussed on the congressional floor. And that was very cool. And it was support from my congressman to get me and like-minded people back in service. And Department of the Army and DOD were like, okay. They had their own way of handling it. But needless to say, I didn't get back in. But we did, quite a few of us did pick up congressional backing to get back in. They just didn't put stipulations on DOD and Department of Army and whatever. And yeah, they're like, okay, here's what you're going to have to do though, bro. And I'm like, come on now. Anyhow, but I actually had some sort of, it was a resolution in a way, and it was progress, and I was heard, and I heard them, and it was fine, right? It didn't get me the outcome I wanted, but I can absolutely say that I tried something, and I had conversations. And I think that's important, because I think if you don't vote, if you don't express your opinions to your elected officials, I don't want to hear you cry about who won what election and what's going on in the world. I'm sorry. It's not a popular view by some, but pound sand, bro.
Since we're talking about this, I guess, I actually think part of the problems that we're seeing is because not enough people vote. Because the way the system is set up, you talk to, I realize it's a little skewed because we mostly talk to truckers, and truckers tend to have a certain view of things.
Right.
But how many people do you talk to that are like, man, this is all screwed up, and then don't vote?
Right.
Well, the thing is that the vote is supposed to be kind of like a mastermind type concept.
Right.
You figure out what the people really want, but in order to find that out, you got to have voters. And when less than a third of your population votes, there is no majority. I mean, for all I know, 80% of people in the country disagree with me and will vote that way, but we don't know that because they don't vote. I can handle defeat, bro. If it's an honest defeat. If you all think that way, okay, whatever. So
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, I don't even understand. Hey, I got an update. It's not a pleasant update from the folks over at Seabright. Apparently, there is a batch of cancellations that went out or is going out.
Hmm.
And here's what I'm going to say about this, folks. If you got canceled on Seabright, I can tell you that my understanding is they did absolutely everything they could to keep you going. But there was quite a few. In fact, the ones that were canceled were deeply and severely behind on their payments with no legitimate effort to get caught up and no plan to get right. Look, they will work with you. They will absolutely work with you. You get behind a couple weeks, on your stuff. They get it. They understand it. Most of them have been around trucking for years and decades.
Mm-hmm.
They get it, the ups and downs. But you, as an adult and a business owner, need to step up. You need to come up with a plan that works for everybody. And if you can't make a plan work, then you just need to understand that, they can't carry you. What a lot of people don't understand is, well, it's just insurance, right? I'll pay them, I'm 4 months behind, bro. That's 4 months of premium that they have already paid for you ahead of time out of their company pocket.
Mm-hmm.
They have to pay for your policy ahead of time. You're paying for it after the fact. They're fronting that money. And because of the way that business works, when you get behind and then there's just no hope of getting back, they're out that money. And look, man, I can tell you that if I were them, it's going to collections. I'm sorry. I don't know that they'll do that. Do everything you can to pay these people off. I mean, if you want to get right with them, reach out, talk to them. It's important that you communicate and come up with an actual viable plan. Paying $5 a week, if you're $4,000 behind, is not a viable plan. Come on. I'm just saying, you know that's not right. So get right, stand up. Don't be mad. Business is business, yo. Sometimes bad things happen and you get behind. We get it. But don't get mad at the people that are trying to run their business well and they can't carry you in your world because there's, I don't know. The sky fell on your head, bro. I don't know what to say. Did I say that about right?
Yeah.
It's an uncomfortable topic. I apologize, but there are some people out there that kind of need to hear that.
Well, I'll put it out there. We've been wrestling with how to bring this up for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I guess now Seabright's done what they needed to do, and now we've got to. We don't have a choice. We were kind of hoping that the people are affected would at least call them and make some arrangements.
Yeah, there was
literally that's all it takes with those guys. Say, hey, this happened. Okay, we get it. Let's get you back on track.
This was something that they've been struggling with in their hearts, like legit. They did not want to do this to anybody. They have gone way out, far and beyond what is expected or required or even likely, if you ask me. I can tell you right now that when I found out people were more than 30 days behind, you want to know what I said? This is not going to make me, you're not going to be a fan of me, probably some of you. I said, cancel them right now.
That's what would happen with your any other insurance.
I said, cancel them right now. There's no reason anyone should be more than 30 days without a plan in place to fix things. That's not okay, guys. So anyhow, I know it's none of you guys right here in the room.
I can make you look like good cop.
Do it.
You want me to be bad cop?
Yep.
Are you really a business owner if you can't pay your bills?
Right.
The whole concept of road warrior entrepreneurs is that we actually take ownership of our lives and our business.
It's all in the mentality.
And if you're having a hard time, reach out. You know, are Charlie and I going to stroke you a check to get you right with Seabright? No, we're
Nope.
absolutely not doing that. But what we will do is sit down with you and say, hey, if you're willing to open your books up to us, let's go over some things and let's see where we could save you some money. Let's see how you're operating. Let's get this thing a lean, green, money making machine for
Right.
you. That's what we do. Let's talk about it. Let's get you back on track. Um, we've got several people that were close to just giving up. We did that with, and it it took them a while, Charlie. It wasn't an
Right.
overnight thing. We're talking 6-7 months to get back to where they were happy with
Right.
themselves and building their confidence back up. But man, they dug in and they did it. It is possible.
And you know what? The sense of achievement and pride in yourself, in your business, man. Because I've been there. Jeff has been there. Quite a few of us have been there. And when you can hit that rock bottom, whether it's business or whatever, but particularly in business, I can tell you that when your business goes into the tank and you do all those things that you need to just really get focused on and fix, and you start building back out of there, man, every one of those steps is like, yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. There's an individual that I'm thinking of in particular that literally to get him out of a hole, he did not go home for 6 months.
Right.
He stayed out for 6 months.
I couldn't.
No hotels, no Burger King.
Right.
The dude freaking hammered down. He slowed down actually, but
right.
And he made it. He's in a much better place now. So Craig, I'm wondering what you're talking about. He wants to know, Jeff, what I would do differently since the switch 5 years ago if you knew then what you know now.
I think if Craig is parked, I'll send him a link and he should get on here and ask that question to your face. Because I bet there's a discussion right there.
Yeah, maybe.
Craig, if you're parked, let me know. Type in the chat if you're parked and you want to pop in. I'll send you a link real quick. I think I know what he's talking about, but I'm not sure.
A lot of stuff happened 5 years ago.
Jim Wall, that'll make all our rates go up. Very well could. It's a possibility. We need to make some things happen and good.
I can tell you. So
into the thing.
For those of you that don't understand what a great rate you Swift guys have, now that I'm not at Swift, I can tell you that the predominant rate that I'm seeing out here in the wild is over 5.5%. You guys are locked in at what? 4, something like that?
Yeah, 4.5.
So a full percentage lower than what most guys out here are paying, and that's if they've got a good what do they call it, driving record thing?
MVR.
MVR. If you got a crappy MVR, dude, those guys are paying 7-8%. And just let's go into that a little bit. What the rate we're talking about is the rate when you're talking to an insurance agent is the percentage of value that you are insuring. So Charlie, your truck is insured at pretty close to 200,000, right?
Oh yeah.
So just the quick math. Let me get my calculator out because I don't do math all that well. 200,000. Let's just call it a 1%. So your truck, where I'm at, would cost you an extra $2,000 a year to insure, which is $166 a month. Since most people think in terms of weeks, let's just do the week. That's $38.46 a week. That brings me to another point. Y'all are worried about your weekly stuff. What about your month? What about your quarter? What about your year?
Right.
I get that most people in the United States today are living paycheck to paycheck. Are you good with that? Start thinking longer term, man. Things are tough for everybody right now. I don't know anybody that's doing great right now, Charlie.
Right.
Even my Richie Rich friends, right? They're feeling it.
No,
Things like
everybody's in kind of survival mode.
they're
Maintain.
they're a lot of the Richie Rich people I know, their insurance rates went up on their cars, on their homeowners. Your rate goes up on $1 million house, that hurts.
Yeah, right.
you know,
For real.
Groceries cost more than they did just a couple years ago. Electricity costs more than it did a couple years ago. Everything costs more. So here's an advantage that we have that they don't have, right, Charlie? When the price of things go up, what else goes up? Diesel fuel,
Right.
which makes our fuel surcharge go up. So if you're doing everything the way we teach you, you're making more money. Literally, you remember when diesel was really close to $5 on the national average
Right.
a couple of years ago, right? At the same time, Donna was complaining about how much a carton of eggs costs. We have a big family, so we get the big thing from Walmart, and it was $23 for something we were used to spending $8 on. But we did the math, and the fuel surcharge literally took care of that for us.
Right.
That's unique to our industry. My rich friends, making solid six figures, $1 million house, all that stuff, they didn't get a raise.
Right.
So we were actually doing kind of better than them.
Crazy, right? It's baffling.
Yeah. Because at least there was that fuel surcharge that took care of some of that, right?
Yeah, and it goes back to, in the hard times, you spend your money on the things that are either going to keep you surviving in a good enough type of way, or that are going to make a change and a step up, right? Those investments that you think have a good chance of actually giving you a return on your investment, right? I'm going to throw it out right now. A lot of people think that, $37 a month for RWE is high. I think that it's an investment in your company. And that's something that's going to help you in the long term. I'm just saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw the shameless plug. Yeah, I did. Craig, you want to throw your camera on, or are you coming up without a camera, man? Look, I'll throw you up here. Look. It says you got no. Oh, there you are. You got no camera. That's okay. I know what you look like. Are you in the shower, bro?
No, I'm in the truck stop.
Oh, there you are. Hey, what's up, man?
There he
Inside
is.
the petrol.
All right, throw your question up there. Let me put you up here.
My question to Jeff was, if you had the information you had now with ES, everything 5 years ago, what would you do differently 5 years ago?
So 5 years ago, I was in the middle of the lease for that 2016. I hadn't paid it off yet, but I probably would have taken that truck as soon as it was paid, as soon as I was out of the lease and on the note for the balloon. I would have already been at Panther or Landstar or somewhere.
I probably would have went to FedEx. If I could have.
Now, 5 years ago, I probably would have picked Landstar, but we know what happened. That I might have tanked it going to Landstar because they're tied to that spot market. But I didn't even know the people 5 years ago that I know now, right? I've got more options than I did then. But if I had this network of people back then, I probably would not be as swift.
Well, you know what though? Everything for a reason.
Yeah.
And had that happened 5 years ago, this thing that we are all a part of right now wouldn't be happening.
And I wouldn't have the network of people that I have without what we're doing here.
So
another reason why road warriors, entrepreneurs is important.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, it like people like you, Craig. I know you've got some things you're working out. I'm not going to get into it, right? Don't think I'm going to throw laundry out there. But I dig your question, and I see the turning in the head, and I like it. I like it. I think we should always be evaluating and making decisions and thinking about what's the next move, what's the right move, even when things are tough, even when things are great, right?
Well,
And
that's something I'll put out there too. Things were really, really good for me 5 years ago. I was
right,
making money. I was getting ready to pay the truck off, getting rid of that anchor around my neck. Things are really good. It's really hard to move to something when there's no pain involved.
right,
I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about it was capitalist.com, their podcast. Give them a shameless plug real quick because I really like the guys.
shout out.
I don't necessarily believe every little thing that they teach, but hey, they're just they are what we Charlie and I say we're capitalists. These guys are freaking.
They make us look silly.
They make us look silly. Yeah. So they were talking about this guy that he founded some fitness thing having to do with abs. Some
Nice.
easy ab thing. I don't know. Part of the bro community, Anyway, so the dude's making all this money, hundreds of millions of dollars. And he just quits one day. He goes to some retreat with a bunch of other guys like him, takes some magic mushrooms and has an epiphany.
Right?
I'm like, what? I'm not doing magic mushrooms, but let's work on the epiphany.
Dang it, man.
And so the host is asking him, so you teach people how to move away from the selfish part of capitalism and into the more caring capitalism is what he's doing these days. He's like, yeah, man, and he puts his message out there, and the people that want to hear it, they come and buy his course, and people that don't. And he's like, here's the thing: people that buy his course, it's because they're in pain. People don't buy his course because everything's fine. And 5 years ago, everything was fine.
Right?
That's the other thing to look at, So yeah, it's you got to have what is it that Josh likes to say? People either move away from pain or towards pleasure.
Right. Right.
And the people that are moving away from pain are more likely to actually do something.
Right. But we have but it's in our community. There are 3 basically types of people within our community, right? We have those that are thinking about making the leap. And we can absolutely help you guys before you make that leap. We have those people that are struggling, absolutely having a hard time, right? Things are bad. They're not sure if they can make it through this week, let alone this month. We can help you. We can help those people. Those people are in absolute pain. But then we have that third group, the third category of person within our community. And those people are doing okay, right? They're meeting their requirements. They've got some left over at the end of each month, each week, what have you. And they're just kind of on autopilot, right? And you know what? Our goal is to help those people step their game up to achieve more.
Yep.
Push them to get out of your comfort zone. You will achieve more when you are uncomfortable. If you are not a little bit uncomfortable, you ain't trying hard enough. Right?
Absolutely.
Discomfort does something for you, right? Discomfort creates a drive, a motivation to actually, achieve something more. And without that, when you're comfortable and you're just sitting there, you're just like, oh man, the world is great. I ain't too worried about it, whatever. Right? Create a little bit of discomfort. Get out of that I'm good. I'm whatever, bro. I'm all right. I could be doing better, but I ain't doing bad. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I always want to do more. And I know I see Craig. See, it's because we know Craig so well, and we know the story behind Craig and all that kind of stuff. Craig's got things he's working out in his head and what his next move is, and does he do this? Does he do that? Does he do this? And it's all uncomfortable. Everything that Craig is thinking right now is not comfortable. Am I right?
Right.
I mean, it is absolute like jarring you from within, and it's it gets a little hard. Let's see. Oh, I hear talking. I thought that was my daughter. That's funny. I literally, that sounded like my daughter. Like, what the hell? I will answer that question. Hey, y'all, quick question. What's the point of leasing on with a company? Well, depending on the actual full question, it's a way for some people to start. It's also kind of a comfortable place a lot of times. Depending on the company you're leasing to, there may be quite a bit of comfort there and reliability in freight lanes, dedicated accounts, trailing equipment, all those sorts of things. If you're talking about leasing a truck from a specific company and leasing onto them, that's another way for some people to get into a business that maybe they couldn't have got into otherwise, or it's a way to do it with a little less skin in the game, right?
Yeah, a lot of these lease purchases, it's either very low or nothing down. Someone asked us on the Facebooks this week, hey, what is it? What are the requirements to be a lease operator at Swift? And one of the tongue-in-cheek answer was, can you fog a mirror?
Right.
And, we all laugh, but in a lot of these mega carriers, if you haven't hit anything and you've been out there for at least a year, you're good to go, bro. It's
for real.
It's a really low bar to entry versus, going out and getting your own truck, getting your own trailer, getting your authority, building the relationships with brokers and carriers and direct customers. It's a lot quicker to make a profit leasing with a carrier. I would say that the comfort, Charlie, comes from a couple of things. The back office support you typically get at a carrier. If you're out there on your own, guess what? You're doing that yourself unless you hire someone,
right,
to do your back office. The maintenance deals that we get, even where I'm at now, we're backed by Expediter Services, and they get large fleet discounts for maintenance, tires, and all sorts of stuff that you can't get as an independent.
Right.
So there's definitely some things to think about there. Now, if you want to go all in and you want to own your own carrier, I've got you. I get that.
Right.
That type of dream is a dream that a lot of people have, but very few people actually do. And then the people that do, the failure rate is really high. And I actually think it's because, and we see this a lot in the Facebooks and conversations and truck stops, people that literally go buy a tractor before they've even been to truck driving school. How are you going to run a trucking business when you've never been in the trucking business?
Or run a business at all?
Right.
We run into that a lot.
I was developing a program, which we still might do, Charlie, that whole company to carrier concept. Take people through one of the mega carriers, get them some experience, and then get them into a truck, leased to a carrier, with the idea of eventually, within about 5-6 years, going out there and having their own authority, being a carrier themselves. And there's a reason for that progression. Each step you take, you're taking on just a little more risk for what could be a very small reward. It depends on who you are and what your motivations are.
Follow-up question. Ready?
Go.
Who y'all think is the best company to lease with? I'm Western now. Don't say nothing. But they have the program and people are doing well.
So if people are doing well, that's all that's required.
Okay. So this is typically how we approach this. Okay. For us to say, hey, you should try this company or that company. I'm leased to and have been at Swift for forever at this point, right? Jeff was here almost 20 years. Craig is currently here now. He's making decisions on his own for his future. Um, the way we
October will be 3 years.
Yeah, and he's done this other places, and so I mean, he's been with a mom and pop type carrier where he was running the truck over there. Now we approach it in the sense of, what are your goals? What type of freight do you like to run? What kind of control do you want behind you? What kind of support do you want behind you? Right? There's a lot of questions that we would ask an individual now, and then say, okay, well, we know if this company or this company meets these criteria, right? Or maybe this company over here would be a better fit for you based on what your plans are now and what your future plans are, right? I mean, I believe you can make money damn near any company you go to if you go into it with the right mindset and some really basic business education and some, legitimate trucking knowledge, right?
Mhm.
There's always a learning curve when you switch from one place to another company wise. Um, so I mean that there are those differences, right? But what we do is we try to, one of the things that we try to do is if we're going to try and recommend a specific place, we have to have a relationship with that in those places, or have done some research there, and say, so that we know what their operation is and that sort of thing. And
We
then we
like
try to
to
make recommendations from that.
we like to at least know some people that are successful there first,
Right.
because that's the thing. You when you ask these questions, you'll get, trust me, being at Swift for so long. Oh, you're at Swift.
Right.
Well, so these people talk to people that failed at Swift. I'm not interested in those people. I'm interested in the people that succeeded. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you came to Swift, you completed your lease, you're still leased on there. A lot of times, what we see is that at the mega carrier level, people start there and then they move on. That's a success. Can you get to the point where you can get to your next level at that carrier? You got to be able to define that next level, though, right?
All right, Sean's challenging us. Ready? I already I just read this, and I actually like this. So Sean, don't worry, you ain't gonna make me mad, bro. He said, I agree with you guys a lot. I also stick up for you guys a lot when someone says y'all crooked, but I'm sure that your concept of company to carrier is viable. I'm not sure your concept of company to carrier is viable. Have either of you been independent? I can tell
Oh,
you, no. The short answer is no. I can tell you that I have absolutely been in the position where I could have got my own numbers, my insurance, had all the cash and everything on hand, ready to do that very thing. And when I ran the numbers, they didn't match at the time. They would not have worked. They weren't. It was not a good time to make that leap at the time. I had broker contacts with some pretty decent rates. Okay, but the overall numbers were actually going to be less for probably the foreseeable next 2 years at the time than what I was doing contracted to Swift.
mhm.
I can tell you that because we haven't gone out and got our own authority and ran our own numbers yet, doesn't mean we haven't done the research and don't have the data to show you that says, hey man, here's what you're getting into. Because we have tons of contacts that have been doing that. And two, Jeff and I both have run those numbers and made the decisions to continue doing more along the lines of leasing to a larger carrier. We actually still do have plans in the works that may lead to us having our own numbers.
We're
Today
getting
is
old.
not the
We're
day.
getting
Yeah,
old though too. I mean, let's be
right.
real.
So no, Sean, I ain't mad at you, bro. Hey, we're not gonna take that kind of stuff, dude. I like when people challenge us on legit stuff and aren't just being
So
trifling.
I could tell you where the concept originated though, Sean, and it wasn't with me. It's the amount of people I've talked to over the last 20 years that did just that. They literally went to the Swift Academy,
Right.
drove for Swift for a year, leased their first truck, paid that truck off, went to Landstar, started building a fleet, and then got their own numbers.
Right.
People do this all the time. And I have noticed that the people that went that route are more successful and happier
Right.
than the guy that gets out of truck driving school, goes and buys a truck and tries to make it.
Indeed.
Now, it took them, 8 years to build this fleet and get their own numbers.
Maybe 10 or 15.
Yeah. So,
But it was a slow, controlled, informed growth decision and plan. Just because we haven't done it doesn't mean we don't have a plan. And Jeff and I typically make plans that are proven ways to do things ahead of time because we failed a lot in a lot of different things, right? I don't call them failures. I call them learning experiences, education. Failures are something you don't learn from, and that's a failure. And you quit. That's a failure.
I've learned about a lot. I've learned a lot about stuff that I learned that I ended up not wanting to do over the years. Yeah, went and learned about stuff and got into it. I'm like, oh, well, this kind of sucks. I think I'm going to pivot and go do that other thing.
Right. I mean, it's a thing.
You also look, Charlie, at people like the guys at capitalist.com. Those guys, right? The Uber capitalists. They only own businesses for about 4 or 5 years. Because their whole goal is to build a business that they can sell and then go do it again.
Right.
The host of the show has owned something like 30 businesses in the last 20 years.
That's like a legitimate model in trucking, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies out there that if you can get up to 25 trucks with a steady freight base, cha-ching, baby, cha-ching.
Yeah.
They will soak you up. They'll soak you up for the contracts.
Yeah.
People also sell their authority too.
Yep. So, but I heard there's a thing about the authority that cause, everybody wants those authorities that have been sitting out there for a long time. When the majority ownership of the DOT numbers swaps now, my understanding is that the clock on the DOT numbers resets.
Yep.
So because there were so many people that were selling those old DOT numbers, some people fall for it and they're like, oh, look at, that's a low DOT number, and they'll hire him, but it was bought out by a new guy who's raggedy as hell and doesn't deliver their freight, or they double broker or whatever, right? But that's why they did that, was people were buying those old authority numbers, those old DOT numbers, and thinking, oh, I'm going to be great. And then they're completely floundering out there in the industry and defrauding people, right?
Yeah.
And so there was some legislation that was put in that kind of does some weird, or regulation rather, that basically resets the time and date of your authority, even though you may have a low number. The jig is up, man. They're getting people.
What certain people were doing in certain cities is they're buying these numbers that had a good history, and then transferring their trucks with a bunch of crashes on them onto that number. That was something that was happening, I don't know, in Chicago. Don't mean to call out Chicago, but Chicago.
Shout out.
A lot of shady companies up there.
Look, man, I know you're gonna. Those people come knock on my door, and even though I'm in Florida, they'd be like knocking on my door. Hey, bro, brother, what do you have to say?
Nothing.
Crickets. Okay, we know that's not true. I'd show up with I'd be like, oh wait, hold on, bro. I go put on my plate carrier and come back to the door of my AR or whatever. What's up, man? USA. Anyhow, that ain't right.
You come
Sean.
out with the Ukraine. You come out with the Ukrainian flag. I'm sure that'd do wonders. for you.
Oh, then they're just gonna punch me straight in the mouth right there. I'm just saying. Sean said that he's pivoted and done it enough. He's a different man due to all the things that he had to do. I'm legitimately coming back with a new attitude and expectation. No, I'm not selling my toys. We get you, bro.
Yeah, but we're still gonna say something about it every time we mention your name.
Right.
Because we have to.
And we love you. And we wouldn't be brothers if we didn't pick on you. I'm just saying, you'd think something was wrong. Yeah, for real. Matt says half seem like fly-by-night operations. That is a problem. That's a legitimate thing. So, Craig, how the hell is your week gone, man?
So far, it's been pretty steady.
Yeah, you still pulling beans, bro?
Oh yeah.
And they're keeping you busy enough for now?
Yeah.
She's still
Steady,
giving you a hard
steady.
time?
Oh no.
Or are you back in your truck and happy again?
Yeah. I'm glad
Okay.
I'm back in my truck.
Right? Loners suck, bro.
Oh yeah.
I can't do it. And just it's a
But
whole thing.
that's another benefit of large carriers. The truck breaks down, they'll loan you a truck, right?
Right? Good God. Sean's talking about his pickup truck now. $482 to change the fuel filter on his Ram. Just saying. But the fuel filter on my crappy little F-150 and my 1972 F-350. I promise my fuel filter don't cost anything like that.
Wow.
And you don't have to remove the motor out of the engine compartment to change it either. Just saying. Love you, Sean. You're my boy. Just saying. 180 in labor. That's an expensive fuel filter, bro. Fuel filters.
So
Plural.
I'm wondering, Sean, are you able to even change that filter yourself, or is it so convoluted that they've just made it impossible at this point? That's something I'm interested in because, Charlie, I delivered an interesting load. I could feel Donna rolling her eyes at me from across the nation when I told her about this.
Right.
So I actually delivered one pallet that weighed less than 400 pounds to a place that does custom trucks, like Raptors, right? And they're sitting here, the most beautiful pickup truck I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
I actually wanted that truck, Sean. I'm not going to buy that truck, but I tell you what, it was a beautiful truck. But I'm wondering, you buy some of these new trucks, can you even change the oil yourself?
He said it was 2 filters, canister type. He feels bent over. Yes, Jeff. But he never dreamed it would have been that high. It was in for recalls and oil change. So I was like, go ahead and do it. Didn't ask the cost. That'll learn you right there. Man, always ask, hey, what's that going to change the price to, bro?
How much for just the filters?
Right? Yeah. For real. 180 in labor.
What's the Fram serial number on those?
Right? Yeah. Fram in his Ram. Will that even work? I'm just saying. Oh my God. I don't know, man. Yeah. So I was gonna go somewhere with Craig here and I forgot where I was going, man. Damn it, Craig. Where are we going, bro?
He's pulling beans. He's doing
Pulling
okay.
beans.
He's got his truck back.
Yes. Yeah. How long were you without your truck? Was it like 3 weeks, a month?
About almost a month.
Good God, man. I don't even know. I don't know how you did it.
But you're still the Volvo guy.
Oh yeah.
You're wearing it loud, you're wearing it proud.
Whew.
Runs good, pulls good.
When you can keep it going straight? What? My bad.
Yeah.
So I had something interesting happen, because I can't do a show without talking about my Western Star.
Oh, here he goes. Damn it, man.
So it's like being in a cult, man. I never would have imagined. Oh, come on, man.
It's now the Jeff Western Star show.
So I'm at the Loves in Gary, Indiana, the one at exit 9, because that's that Petra and that Loves is the only place that I will park in that entire area because you know why.
I like the Petro.
Yeah, but I had shower points at the Loves, so there
Oh,
you go. I didn't want to have to walk across that street. But so I'm getting my shoes on to go to the bathroom, right? And there's this little bald dude. He's just walking. He sees me getting ready to get out my truck. He just stops. He's just waiting, like looking at me in the window. I'm like, I don't know about this. Gary, Indiana. I get out and he's like, dude, how do you like that Western Star? I'm like, it's pretty good. I mean, it's a truck, right? But yeah, it's nice. It's real nice. He's like, yeah, man, I've got the smaller one, the 5300, but man, it's a great
right.
truck, isn't it? And he talked to me for like a half hour about Western Star, just because I was driving a Western Star. It was like the dangest thing. So yeah, I'm in the cult now. I've officially become that guy with a fancy truck. Even though I always said I would never be that guy, I am officially that guy now.
Would you go back to the Freightliner?
No, I'm still. I'm trying to make a deal to buy this thing, man. Yeah. The only thing it's missing is Road Warrior Entrepreneurs Wrap.
Right.
I'm trying to make a deal to get that done on somebody else's time.
Western Star with a flat tire.
Blown tire.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Sounds like a Freightliner to me.
Yeah. So
James still in his Volvo and loves it, he says.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What's your fuel mileage looking like in that thing these days? I haven't asked you that in a while, Craig.
He don't know. He's been out of it for the last month.
Yeah, I've been out of it for about a month now, but this last trip was like 8.9.
Holland beans?
Yeah,
Wow.
Holland beans.
That's really good.
That is
63.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't, you ain't hurting doing that. I'm just saying. And it's funny because you guys pretty much always drive heavy.
Yeah.
And yet you, Mark, Matt, y'all doing all right.
Yeah.
How do you explain that, Craig? How do you how are you always heavy and you're doing okay?
Manage my speed.
Preach. Come on, man. Let them know.
Speed.
Stand up on the altar.
Yeah. Me and Mark had a conversation probably about 2-3 weeks ago at the Loves. He runs pedal to the metal, and we were comparing numbers. Where I run, he was like, "Wow, maybe if I do slow down,
Yeah.
save a little more in fuel."
Trucker Dan's in a Volvo too. Just saying.
It's a nice truck.
Yeah.
I just, you know what my problem has always been with Volvo, Craig, because I drove Volvos when I was a company driver. Really liked them. And until they broke down.
That was back in 1967.
It was 2006. Come on, man.
Same thing.
But it just seemed to me like it was the part distribution that killed me on those trucks.
Yeah.
Something goes, they got to order it from freaking Sweden. It's like.
Do you realize, Jeff, that in 2006, some of our viewers were still in elementary school, bro? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It might as well have been 1967 for them.
I wasn't born in 67.
Hey, quiet your mouth, man. Nobody
saying.
believes what you just said.
Well, their goal now is to make them where they're not breaking down.
Right.
And if there's an issue, they can fix it over the air.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting sidetracked by questions. I was making $12 an hour with no benefits as a MIG welder here in Michigan. I can't $12 an hour. Damn it. I quit in 2020 and became a door greeter at Costco, making $29 an hour with full benefits. Easiest job in the world. Yeah. Hey. Retirement goals. I don't know.
Yeah.
Welcome to Walmart, yo. Don't think I wouldn't think about it because can you imagine me a greeter at Walmart? with the shirts that I typically wear, Jeff, when I'm not wearing Contractors Corner shirts. Can you imagine that?
Oh man.
Oh my. I think I'd get fired first day.
I used to tell people that my life's ambition was to work at McDonald's. But I got to explain that a little bit. The real goal is to be able to work at McDonald's and maintain a decent lifestyle.
Right. And not care.
Not care. Just doing it because you want to do it. That really that's Jeff's goal in life is if I'm going to do something, it's because I want to,
Right.
not because the bank is calling my wife every day wanting their payment. That's the goal.
Right.
You know, we've always said, Craig, that, you know, Contractors Corner takes off and we're spending most of our time helping you guys because that's what, you know, we're being paid for. Let's be real. So that's what we'll be doing most of the time. That doesn't mean we're going to quit driving, man.
No. I love driving, y'all. I'm going to tell you right now that there was a reason I got into this.
We may back way off because we're doing other things, but never quit driving. I got into it because I like to drive.
Yeah.
But that's the point, isn't it? You want to be able to do what you're doing because you want to do it, not because you got bills to pay.
Right.
That's really what I would consider the American dream. You know, 200 years ago, they had these people called gentlemen farmers. They were primarily in the Northeast. We won't talk about the South down there back then. But they were gentlemen farmers. And the whole concept was that they had built a farm that was so efficient that they could hire labor to run the farm for them. Right. That was a gentleman farmer. And the benefit to the community, you read about this, the benefit to the community was that everybody was enriched. It was the whole a rising tide lifts all boats thing.
Right.
So so Farmer John, he spent 15 years building this farm, and now he doesn't need to work because he can pay Charlie and Jeff to come work. And he's living in that nice house with the actual carpet in the windows, which that was a thing back then, windows. But Jeff and Charlie, all of a sudden, they didn't have to worry about where their food was coming from for their families anymore.
Right.
That's the real point of business, folks. Forget what you see on the news. We get it. There's this thing called crony capitalism that's a real thing in the United States. Yeah, I get it. There's greed in the world, but we don't have to be that way.
Right.
We do not have to be that way. We can still live with that dream of being the gentleman trucker.
Right.
We drive still because we want to, and we're going to help people build their businesses. We're going to employ people to drive our little fleet of trucks, and we're going to lift everybody that we can. That's the whole point. That's the real point of business. All right, I'm off my soapbox now.
I like it, bro. Look, I like when people get up on the box and start preaching. You look. I was trying.
Our first lease truck was Charley and Jeff. Take a guess.
International.
T2000.
Right on the Classic XL.
Oh. I bet it wasn't too bad at the beginning, right?
No, it wasn't too bad.
What was your fuel mileage, though? You don't even know.
Don't even know. Didn't care.
See, it's crazy the way that it all evolves, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when I first, got into contracting and all that, I put it on the floor, bro. I was still in company mode. Drive fast, get there. Oh, dang! I got to sit here for a day and a half. I could.
We were talking about it yesterday. Charlie, Craig, we were talking about, remember when Rutherford, I don't know if you've been in the game this long. I first started listening to Rutherford in 2006, and he had just gotten his full-time gig at XM.
Yeah.
And if you called and told him you got 8 miles to the gallon, he would call you a liar in front of God.
For real.
You are a liar. Nobody gets that.
No way in hell.
Charlie, what's your lifetime right now?
Hang on.
9 point something in it.
I am 9.10 as of the other day. Let me see if I can pull it up. Refresh. I was at 9.09 last week.
So
I'm at 9.10.
We just went through your numbers for last month, and you just got your first 10 mile per gallon month, didn't you?
Yeah,
Did you
I
hit
am.
that number?
My 30-day average right now is 10.03. My 60-day average is 10.02. My 90-day average is 9.66, and my lifetime is 9.10 as of right this minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that right now. Honest to God. I'm gonna pull up and see what I did this week just for fun. Let's go. You guys continue amongst yourselves. I'm gonna handle this real fast. Let's see.
So yeah, that's how things have changed in the last 20 years, man. We've gone from you're a liar if you're telling me you're getting 8 miles a gallon to you're only getting 8 miles a gallon. Dude,
My
you need to
worst
work on
tank
your
this
fuel
week.
mileage.
My worst tank this week was 10.04.
Wow.
My best was 10.54, and I averaged this week 10.30.
So here's the other thing to look at, Charlie. What's
4908 miles.
your cost per mile right now on your 30-day? Or on
Oh,
your
well,
on that truck?
this week, like, just because it's on my screen right now, I'm going to tell you it's 32 cents per mile on 30 days. It is 33 cents per mile. On 60 is 33. On 90, I'm at 34, and my lifetime is 42. So I'm moving in the right direction, right?
Yeah, my lifetime right now in this truck, which is only a month old, to me, is 41 cents. So my lifetime on my 16 was 49 cents.
Right.
Now think about that, because that includes all that super low fuel we got for the first couple of years I had the truck,
Right.
and the $5 gallon fuel that we had later on. Now I'm 100% on ES for fuel. I've made that leap. And I'm at 41 cents. And I was talking to a guy the other day, and one of the problems with this truck that I have to admit is the aerodynamics. You know, you threw that picture of my truck up there. It's got the big chrome everything, including the visor that catches the wind, all that stuff. And I bet I'm eating at least half a mile per gallon in this truck just from all that stuff hanging off of it. It's got mismatched tires all around. Charlie and I were trying to figure out what my overall rolling resistance was, and we just gave up.
Wait. You ready for some life bummer kind of numbers? Lifetime. My worst fill up, my worst tank, 4.49 miles per gallon.
How much?
4.49. My best has been 11.28 on a complete
How did you
tank.
get so low? That must have been when you were in Phoenix or something.
It was the week in Phoenix.
Okay, yeah. So another thing another real world test that I didn't intend to have, Charlie. So all y'all with the newer engines, I hear it all the time. Frickin' DPF problems.
Right.
Dash lights up like a Christmas tree. Won't do a reach. All these things, right? So here's the thing. You know that my APU went out right after I picked the truck up. So I ran it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks without an APU. And the truck started having those problems because I was having to idle all night to stay alive. Let's be real.
Right.
I like to stay alive, so I was idling the truck. So I get the APU fixed, and the DPF light, after 3 days, that light went out, hasn't come back. Month later, still hasn't come back. No problems, no regens, no nothing. And the only thing that's different is that I'm not idling the truck. I'm using the APU to stay alive. So I think there's something to that. So I know that who was it that just got a Thermal King put on their truck? Got a tri-pack. Somebody did.
Trucker Tim, I believe.
Tim.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having one.
Keep an eye on that, because I think that's another check mark in the pro column for having an APU. You know, think about what it costs every time that thing derates because something went wonky because you had to idle to stay alive.
Right? Like legit. Okay. Look, I just pulled up Chewy.
Oh no.
Yeah, my lifetime on Chewy was 7.10. I've got over 1 million miles tracked there. My worst tank in Chewy was 1.58 miles per gallon. Oh my God. My best in Chewy was 10.4. That wasn't a bad one. Wish I could have had more, but yeah, my lifetime was 7.10, and the average cost per mile over that time that I was tracking was 0.46 cents per mile.
Okay, so my 2016 lifetime average, all the other averages are gone now because it's been so long.
It was Jim Wall that
7.8.
got the new APU. Sorry, Jim. I forgot,
Okay.
man.
7.83 lifetime, 45 cents a mile. The 22, which I only had for about not even 6 months, 7.91, 49 cents a mile. Of course, there was high fuel prices that whole 6 months, so
Right.
that's a little bit of wonky. My straight truck, which I had for 2 months, 9.64 miles per gallon, 32 cents per mile. So those of you that are wondering about straight truck operations, that's a pretty decent fuel mileage for those trucks. It was a little wonky because the APU never turned off on that thing. There was a problem with the controller board.
Okay, I'm gonna mess with you guys. Ready? Watch this.
My current truck lifetime is at 7.5, 60 days at 7.5, 30 days 7.84, 41 cents per mile. So again, I think that without that wind catching equipment that I've got,
Right.
I'd be up over 8. So fix the tires. I don't think I'll take the wind catcher off. I'm struggling with it, Charlie, because I do. It's been a long time since I've had a visor,
Right.
and I'd forgotten how nice it is to have that thing up there.
Truck has a visor too, Jeff.
Yeah, but yours is like integrated into that weird body that they've got.
Actually works with the aerodynamics.
I don't think it's catching the wind like mine. You know, my first truck that I leased was a T2000, by the way, Charlie.
All right, ready for this? I'm going to give you some numbers. Tracking for 50,543 miles. The worst fill up was 130.21 miles per gallon. The best fill up was 223.96 miles per gallon. The lifetime average is 177.84 miles per gallon. My 30, 60, 90 days on this is 189.49, 190.46, and 187.36. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Come on, say it.
Yes.
Say it. Yes. I'm tracking my miles per gallon on my DEF. I didn't start till I was till 50,000 miles ago. Wait, no, that's not true. 288,000 miles is what I have tracked on it. Yeah, I have a separate account for my DEF on my truck because I was curious.
The app is going to be updating soon where you can actually put your DEF in there.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
Yeah.
Because I got to run a separate thing, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. Well, it's pain in the butt for Rosie because she puts all the numbers in.
When she remembers to put the cap back on.
Look. It's not just sometimes it's me. It's fair. It happens. Yeah, God, that makes a mess. Yeah, how many of you guys are actually tracking? How many of you are tracking your DEF?
Tracking my DEF too.
You know, I can tell you that my average cents per mile on DEF is 2 cents.
That's not bad.
My average fuel up is $22.40, and my average cost per gallon, unfortunately, is $3.56.
Yeah, I'm at 2 cents per mile on my DEF too.
So it's things you do, right? Jim says he tracks it. Craig tracks it. Jeff don't, but I still love Jeff. He's in the cool kid club now. I'm just saying. Oh God. Mike Fowler said he was in a W9 for 4 years, average 5.52. Good Lord.
Sounds about right.
Jim, reach out to Matt Nissen, man. And you guys could get hooked up on that spreadsheet stuff. Let's see. There's something else I was going to click on. I forgot where it was. Oh, when Jeff comes back, He's got a question. I think maybe his tire guy showed up. He may or may not be back at all because we're getting close to the end of this thing. And look, now Craig's like looking around. He's like, "What I got out there?" Sorry, man. I just had to mess with you. Mike Henderson. Hey, look, that's a legitimate statement. Way too lazy to track depth. I honestly was just super curious about how much we were getting, and I think it's funny because I do have a spread. My worst is 92.19. My best is 1.7, or my best, and I think this might have been like the def pump shut off, even though it wasn't full type of thing. But it says 387.63. I don't
It's
think
become
that's
a big
legit.
thing though, Charlie.
Has it? Good.
They've been Bruce and Kevin have been talking about it
Nice.
and the reason why, because if you notice you're burning more death, you know you got a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And I seem to bounce. I mean, legitimately, let me pull up some of these last truck activity. I seem to be pretty even. And you know how these damn pumps are sometimes, right? It's hard to get it
Yeah.
full sometimes, and I can't see down in the filler. So I'm trusting when it shuts off that it's filling, and it typically on the dash shows full most times. Some don't, and so I try to enter those as partials. But pretty much between like 180, 170, 200, 190, a lot of 190s, a lot of 180s. Just in the month of July and August. It's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be an interesting thing. It just kind of speaks to itself, and it was one of those nerd things that I started doing. I can't help it. Michael
They
Fowler, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what got Kevin them into switching the app because
Nice.
a lot of people started tracking it
Yeah.
with dual accounts in the fuel gauge. Yeah.
And Kevin's like, damn it, they're messing up numbers. Right? Yeah, because I actually have it listed like, I got my DDX Trans 23, and then I have DDX Trans 23 DEF, right?
Yeah.
2 different trucks listed, basically same damn truck, just different
But if you can
product.
catch, like Bruce said, if you can catch if you're burning more death sooner,
Right?
it can save you a whole lot more money.
Hell yeah. Don't it? Oh, Jeff's gonna show his tire.
Yep.
Feel it coming. Here it goes. Bam!
There you go.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So here, another interesting thing though, Charlie, is I'm 7 miles away from a Love's right now.
Right.
They did not ask me if I wanted to drive to the Love's. It's like, oh, you're broke down. Let's get you fixed.
Right.
So that was nice.
Michael Fowler, the spreadsheet would be a good class. How to use them. I think that's legit. And you know what? I think we make Matt teach people how to do it.
Yeah.
He's actually really good with
he keeps following me around the country. So
right. So yeah, Mike Henderson, my first Swift was a 97 lowrider Freightliner Classic. First 00 truck was an 07 W9. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Mike had a lot of problems back in the day and financial stuff and started over.
Yep.
Much different world now than where he was at his low point. And the man can tell you that he's come back from. Yes. I'll let Mike tell the story. I know Mike's story and I dig his story.
We should get it on video sometime.
Right. We're kind of at our time, Jeff. I'm going to throw this up here because I think it's important because me. And let's just be real. It's time for an ad. Hey, we still got this special running. $37 a month right now. That price is going to be good through Labor Day. If you join with that price now before Labor Day, you're going to keep that price for life. The price will never be this low again, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. I know people are like, yeah, right, till the next sale. Even if we discount it again from what's going to be the normal $57 a month, it will never be $37. It will never be as low as $37 again. As long as you keep your account active, you'll keep that price for life. Right now is the time to do it. I'm just saying we actually had another one join today, Jeff. Don't know if you saw that, but it happened.
Oh,
And
nice.
I need to go get them in that other group as well. I need to go click the button. So yeah, you guys, I don't know what to tell you. I think that you're going to find absolute value here. Jeff, what do you want to throw in?
So I'm going to focus on the price a little bit because that seems to be a lot of people's sticking point. Look, guys, because of certain laws and things like that, we can't guarantee you anything.
Right.
A lot of it's because we don't know you. We don't know what you're going to do with the information. But I can tell you that if you do all the stuff that we're teaching, you're going to save more than that even $57 a month on your bottom line. And it's tax deductible. So, what is, I mean, our argument, Charlie, on tax deductions. I mean,
yeah, don't buy it just because it's tax deduction. Just know that if you do buy it, you're going to have that tax benefit.
And, we're going to grow it. We've already done, we've done more stuff in the last 3 weeks than we've done in the last 2 years in our community, I think. I don't know. A 22 is not the problem. I haven't seen many internationals. I don't think that's an issue at all. I know that they have like a 6-year thing, I think is what it is. If the truck's newer than 6 years, they let it in the fleet, kind of like Swift will do. Once it's in, but it's got to be newer than that. Go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, make no mistake. I love what I'm doing. Dude, I was just talking to the people today at Panther about my problem with my tire. And you know what? It turned into like this 10-minute conversation. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. Blah, 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 blah. We were joking and laughing. It was weird. I don't know what to do with it still. But, it's a smaller company. I really appreciate that. Craig, you've worked for smaller companies before, too. There is an absolute difference in how you're treated. Oh, and, at my age, with 20 years in the business, that's probably, to me, that's worth a lot. Just being treated a little better than you are at a mega carrier. When I call Panther, it's one of like 5 people I'm going to talk to. We're starting to get to know each other. And even their night crew, it's the same people. And they actually, I don't know, like answer the phone. So I really like it. But anyway, so yeah, that's just what I would touch on, Charlie, is, there's this thing in personal development, in business, and in success. You got to invest in yourself, folks. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, are you waiting for some magic angel fairy to sprinkle dust on you and make you an instant success? Because that ain't happening.
It's $8.53 a week.
Yeah.
Just saying. You can go right there, rwedrive.com. Check it out. Read the little deal and check it out. If you want to sign up, by all means, sign up. If not, hey, that's cool too. We ain't mad at you. Craig's a member of our group over there. Matt Nissen's a member of our group over there. Jim Wall. We got a bunch of people over there. Michael Fowler, brand new member. There's a whole bunch of people that are over there, and we look forward to seeing you guys. With that being said, guys, Craig, let's throw it to you. What do you want to say, brother? You got any last words of wisdom or whatever you want to say? Ready? It's your minute. Ready? Go.
Yeah. Best thing about it, having community, keeps you from jumping off the ledge.
I love it. I love it. Jeff, final words. We're going to get the hell out of here, guys.
Everybody knows what I'm going to say. Keep that Riverside down. Be safe out there.
And with that being said, thank you guys once again for being here. We love you guys. I'm going to tell you, I can't speak for anybody else. I got love for all you people, even the crazy ones that want to talk trash and be mean. I think you're funny personally. But I got love for people, and I do appreciate you coming here every week, hanging out with us, hour, 2 hours at a time. Today we're over 2 hours today. And just to me, like, what the hell, man? Anyhow, hey, we'll see you guys here next week. Take care of each other. No one's out here no one's out here looking after us but us. Be safe. We'll see you guys next week. 6 p.m. Tuesday. We'll be right here.